If you ever want to know what it feels like to watch your own child turn into a stranger, try standing in your kitchen at 67 years old while your daughter looks you dead in the face and spits on you. Not metaphorically, not "she hurt my feelings." I mean actual spit. And then she said it, "You disgusting old hag." The words didn't even hit first. The spit did. Warm, sticky, sliding down my cheek. My name is Olivia Walker. I'm 67 years old. Widow. Retired nurse. Mortgage-free house in suburban Atlanta. No debt. Clean record. Good church reputation. And one ungrateful daughter named Carolina. See, people love to say, "You must have done something to deserve that." No. What I did was worse. I loved her too much. It started on a Sunday. You know, the kind of Sunday where the sun hits the blinds just right and you think maybe life ain't so bad. I had just come back from church, still in my soft blue cardigan, hair set, pearls on. I made her favorite pot roast, because even at 39 years old, Carolina still expected Sunday dinner at Mama's house. She didn't knock. She stormed in, heels loud, attitude louder. "Why did you do it?" she snapped. I blinked. "Do what, baby?" Don't you just hate when the word baby dies in your mouth? She slammed her purse on the counter. "You transferred the property back into your name." Ah, that. See, 3 years ago, after Harold, God rest his soul, passed away, I signed this house over to Carolina. Early inheritance, I called it. Truth? I was lonely. I thought if her name was on the deed, she'd visit more. Stupid, right? She moved in for 6 months, then moved out once she secured a business loan using the house as collateral. And visits dried up like cheap mascara. But 2 weeks ago, I found out something interesting. She wasn't starting a business. She was flipping my house equity into luxury Airbnbs with her boyfriend, Marcus. My house, Harold's house, 42 years of mortgage payments, and I was still paying property taxes. So yes, I quietly had my lawyer reverse the transfer. Perfectly legal. Because I never removed myself from the deed fully. Mama may be old, but Mama ain't stupid. "You humiliated me," Carolina screamed. I leaned against the sink. "No, sweetheart, I protected myself." She laughed. Cold, ugly. "You're 70 and paranoid. What are you even protecting? You're going to die soon anyway." There it was. That moment when your heart cracks, but your face stays calm. I said softly, "I'm 67. She stepped closer. "You think I need you? You think I'm some helpless little girl?" I looked at her, the same girl who used to sleep on my chest through thunderstorms. And I said, "I think you forgot who built the roof over your head." That's when it happened. She spat on me, right across my face. "You disgusting old hag." Silence. Even the refrigerator hum felt louder. I didn't slap her, didn't scream, didn't cry. I grabbed a paper towel, wiped my face, and said the calmest sentence I have ever spoken in my life. "You have 30 days to get your things out of any property attached to my name." She froze. "You wouldn't." "Oh, baby," I said, folding the paper towel slowly. "I already did." See, what Carolina didn't know is that I wasn't just reversing the house. I was reversing everything. The car I co-signed, the credit line, the emergency account, the business backing. All of it. You want to call me a disgusting old hag? Fine. But you will not build your empire off my grave while I'm still breathing. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard my wedding photo rattled on the wall. I stood there alone, my cheek still tingling, and that's when the tears finally came. Not because she spat on me, but because I realized my daughter didn't see me as her mother anymore. She saw me as an obstacle. That night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. "Mrs. Walker?" "Yes." "This is First Capital Lending. We were told your property transfer was reversed. That affects 3 secured loans." 3. Not 1. 3. My heart slowed. "Ma'am, did you authorize your daughter Carolina Walker to leverage your primary residence for business expansion?" There it was. The real betrayal. She didn't just disrespect me. She risked losing everything Harold and I built. and she never told me. I hung up slowly, walked to Harold's photo, and whispered, "You see this mess, Harold? Your baby girl just tried to bury me before I'm dead." But here's the thing about women like me. We don't explode, we calculate. And that night, I opened a folder Carolina didn't know existed, a trust, an asset shield, and something else, something that would make her spit feel like the smallest mistake she ever made. Because if she thinks I'm just some frail old woman she can disrespect, she forgot who raised her. And I promise you this, before this story ends, Carolina is going to learn exactly who Olivia Walker really is. You ever feel your stomach drop, but your face stays calm? That was me the next morning. Coffee in hand, robe on, 67 years old, heart steady. But my mind? Oh, my mind was running numbers. 3 loans, secured against my house. My house. I didn't panic. Panic is for people who don't have options. I called my attorney instead. His name is Daniel Reeves, 45, calm, surgical brain. I've known him since he was a kid running around this neighborhood with grass stains on his knees. Now he wears tailored suits and speaks in quiet warnings. "Olivia," he said after I explained everything, "Carolina used a layered structure." "English?" I replied. "She opened an LLC, used your partial property equity as proof of stability, then stacked expansion loans under that umbrella. And if that LLC defaults?" He paused. "They come after the collateral." "My house." "Yes." I closed my eyes. "Can they?" "Only if you're still legally attached." I smiled slowly. I reversed the deed. "Yes, that saved you, but..." "But what?" "She forged a supplementary authorization form." The room went still. "She what?" "Olivia, she submitted paperwork indicating you approved secondary leverage." I didn't scream, didn't cry. I laughed. Soft, slow, almost impressed. My daughter really thought she was smarter than me. Daniel's voice lowered. "This is fraud." "No," I said quietly, "this is desperation, and desperation makes people sloppy." That afternoon, Carolina showed up again. Not angry this time, calculated. She walked in like she owned the place. "You really want to do this?" she asked. I was sitting at the dining table with a stack of folders. "Do what, sweetheart?" "Cut me off?" "Oh, baby, I didn't cut you off. I slid the car title across the table. I reclaimed what's mine." Her jaw tightened. "You can't just ruin my business." "Ruin?" I tilted my head. "You risked foreclosure on my home without telling me. It wasn't going to fail." "How do you know?" She hesitated, and that hesitation told me everything, because confidence answers fast. Lies pause. Then he walked in. Marcus. Tall, too smooth, smells like ambition and cheap cologne. He didn't even greet me, just stood there like I was furniture. "You're overreacting," he said. I looked him dead in the eye. "Boy, I've been a nurse for 38 years. I've watched men die calmly while their wives screamed. Don't tell me what overreacting looks like." Carolina rolled her eyes. "Mom, this is business. You wouldn't understand." That sentence? That one right there? That's when something inside me hardened. "You're right," I said calmly. "I don't understand stealing from your own mother." Marcus stepped forward. "We didn't steal anything. You forged my signature." Carolina snapped. "It wasn't forging." "Then why didn't you tell me?" Silence. There it is again. The pause. The guilt. The crack in the armor. "You think I won't survive without you?" she said suddenly. That one hit. Because this wasn't about business anymore. This was pride. "You think I need your money?" "No," I replied softly. "I think you built your confidence on my safety net." Marcus scoffed. "She's bluffing, Carolina." I stood up slowly. 67 years old, but steady. "Bluffing?" I opened another folder. Carolina Walker LLC has missed 2 vendor payments. Her face drained. Marcus turned to her. You said we were good. She snapped at him. We are. No, I said gently. You're overextended. I slid printed statements across the table. You leveraged projected bookings, but half your properties are underperforming. Carolina's hands shook. You went through my finances? No, I corrected. I went through mine, and everything tied back to me. That's the mistake she made. You don't attach fraud to a retired woman with time on her hands. You wouldn't report me, she whispered. Oh, there it is. Fear. I stepped closer. You spat on me yesterday. That was... No, I said firmly. That was clarity. Marcus tried to regain control. Look, we can restructure. You already did, I replied. Then I dropped the bomb. I froze the co-signed line of credit this morning. Carolina gasped. You can't. I did. Marcus pulled out his phone, probably checking accounts, probably watching numbers collapse in real time. Carolina's breathing got shallow. You're destroying everything. No, I said quietly. I'm protecting what's left. They left arguing, loud, ugly, blaming each other, and I stood in my doorway watching the car I co-signed drive away, maybe for the last time. That night my phone rang again. Private number. I answered. Mrs. Walker? Yes. This is the compliance department from First Capital. Yes. There's been a formal complaint filed regarding fraudulent authorization tied to your daughter. I blinked. I didn't file anything. Pause. Well, someone did. And suddenly, this wasn't just between me and Carolina anymore. Someone else knew. Someone else was watching. And whoever filed that complaint was about to blow this whole thing wide open. I sat down slowly. And for the first time, I wasn't sure who was playing who. Morning came, sun hitting my kitchen like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. I wasn't just a mom protecting herself anymore. I was a player in a game that Carolina didn't even know existed. The complaint? Filed anonymously. Could have been anyone, but I had my suspicions. And lucky for me, I had resources. I grabbed my phone, dialed Daniel Reeves. Morning, I said. Olivia, it's worse than I thought. I sipped my coffee slowly, letting the tension build. Go on. Your daughter, she over-leveraged the LLC even more than you realized. Multiple properties, multiple investors. One default and it could cascade. I set my mug down. Meaning? She's sitting on a legal time bomb, and the complaint triggers an audit. I smiled, quiet, deadly. So she's panicking without realizing I already have the detonator. Daniel laughed, softly, exactly. Later that day, Carolina called. Her voice, usually sharp, was thin. Mom, Don't. I cut her off. Your games are over. Mom, I need you. Please, I can fix this. I laughed, harsh. Fix this? Baby, you don't even know the half of it. You're lucky I didn't walk into the courthouse yesterday and hand over your LLC myself. She froze. I could almost see her thinking. You wouldn't? Oh, I would. And I might. Click. She hung up. Perfect. Fear. That's how you control someone who thinks they're untouchable. Then Marcus showed up. Ah, yes, Mr. Smooth, thinking he's the brains of the operation. You can't do this, Olivia, he said, trying that fake calm again. Oh, I can, I said, folding my arms. I already did. You just don't see it yet. Carolina's counting on me to save her, I interrupted. Marcus, she spat on me, and you're too late to protect her now. He looked like someone slapped him, And for once, he realized he wasn't in charge. By mid-afternoon, I had drafted letters, asset freezes, and a formal complaint counter, everything tied to Carolina's LLC, her properties, and Marcus's involvement. I sent them electronically, signed, filed, served, and sat back with a cup of tea, calm, because once the papers hit, the dominoes would fall. Evening, the knock on my door. A courier. I signed, no questions asked. Envelope thick, stamped with urgency. Inside, a notice, court papers, subpoena for Carolina, Marcus, and surprisingly, the anonymous complainer. I smiled. Game on. I called Daniel. Did she get it? Already, she freaked. I could hear the fear, smell it, taste it. Delicious. She's going to try to fight it? Of course, but she's cornered. Good. That's exactly where I wanted her. Night fell. Carolina called again. Mom, please, we can talk. I'll fix it. I set the phone down. I didn't answer. Let her stew. Let her panic. Let her realize Olivia Walker is not some old hag to be spat on. I poured myself a glass of wine, sat in Harold's chair, looked at his photo, whispered, "We're not done yet, baby. Not by a long shot." Because here's the truth. Carolina thought she could humiliate me, cheat me, and walk away unscathed. She forgot one thing. I don't lose. I just wait, and when I strike cold. The next morning, I woke up early, just like I always do. Sun slicing through the blinds, birds chirping, perfect calm. Meanwhile, Carolina's world was crumbling. Her phone was blowing up. Emails, calls, messages, investors asking for updates, vendors demanding payments, banks threatening foreclosure notices. And Marcus, oh, he was panicking too. The man who thought he could control everything, now sweating bullets. I hadn't moved from my chair in hours. Laptop open, documents ready, coffee cold but ignored. Daniel called. Olivia, they're in full panic mode. Carolina just called her investor, begged for a meeting. I chuckled. Baby girl doesn't even know what she's up against. She might try to sell off some properties, Daniel warned. Let her try, I said. I already secured them under legal hold. By mid-afternoon, Carolina showed up at my door. I heard the tires squeal in the driveway. Her knock was frantic, not confident, not commanding, not arrogant. I opened the door. Her face was pale, sweat glistening on her forehead, hair a mess. Mom, I didn't mean... You spat on me, I said calmly. We're not talking about intentions. We're talking about results. She looked like she might cry or throw something, maybe both. I can fix it, she yelled. Oh, baby, you're past fixing. You're in survival mode now. Marcus appeared behind her, attempting to regain some dignity. We can restructure everything, he said. I laughed softly. You think I'd let you restructure what you tried to steal? He paled. You? Yes, all your LLC assets, frozen until this is sorted. Carolina's knees went weak. She sank into my porch step. You're ruining everything, she shrieked. No, I said slowly. I'm not ruining you. I'm protecting what's mine, what's Harold's, what I earned in 42 years of hard work. Her phone rang. Another investor. She ignored it. Mistake. I could almost see the panic building like a storm cloud over her head. Then the bomb dropped. Daniel called. Olivia, I just got confirmation. One of her properties has defaulted, and it's tied to multiple investors. I smiled. That's right. Dominoes. They fall on their own once you set them. Call the compliance office, I said. Make sure they know Carolina's signature is attached to every single defaulted property. You want her... what?
Daniel asked. Straight to court, I replied. No mercy. Let her feel it. Let her see what she tried to pull. Evening. Carolina was pacing in front of my house, Marcus whispering frantically in her ear. I poured a glass of wine, sat on the porch, calm, waiting. Because the best part of revenge? It's watching them unravel, thinking they're still in control. Her voice broke the silence. Mom, please, I'll do anything. I'll pay you back. I'll quit my business. Please don't ruin me. I took a slow sip of wine, eyes on her, calm, calculated. Oh, baby, this isn't about ruining you. This is about teaching you, about respect, about consequences, about never spitting on the woman who gave you life and a roof over your head. She dropped to her knees. Mom, please. I didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't speak. She realized it. I wasn't bluffing. I never bluff. And that's when the tears came. Big, desperate, ugly tears. Because for the first time, Carolina Walker realized she had underestimated Olivia Walker.
The morning was quiet. Too quiet. Perfect for a woman like me. Olivia Walker doesn't rush. She calculates, she waits, and she strikes when her enemy is weakest. Carolina and Marcus? Weak, shaking, panicked, broken. Step 1, court papers. Daniel and I had everything meticulously prepared. Every loan, every default, every forged signature. All tied directly back to Carolina's attempts to leverage my property illegally. We filed, served. Copies went to investors, banks, and the compliance office. And then I waited. Step 2, confrontation. Carolina came back, desperate. She knocked, hard, shaking. Mom, please, I'll do anything. Just please let me fix this. I opened the door. Calm, deadly calm. You want to fix this? I asked. Do you really know what fixing it means? Her face crumpled. I'll pay you back, all of it, I swear. I smiled, small, slow. Oh, baby, you don't get it. This isn't about money anymore. You're ruining my life, she screamed. I leaned in. No, Carolina, I'm restoring balance. You spat on me. You disrespected me. You risked everything Harold and I built. And now you're learning consequences. Step 3, the investors called. Phones blowing up in the background, each one more panicked than the last. Carolina's knees buckled. Marcus tried to shield her. You can't do this, Olivia, he yelled. We can negotiate. Negotiation? I echoed, voice low and steady. Negotiation is for equals. You're not my equal, Marcus. You're a pawn. Step 4, the public humiliation. I arranged a formal notice in the business filings. Carolina's LLC marked for investigation, Marcus's involvement documented, investors informed, banks notified. By noon, the news had reached social media. Headlines subtle but sharp. Local entrepreneur faces legal investigation linked to fraudulent property leverage. Carolina's phone didn't stop buzzing. Emails, texts, voicemail after voicemail. Panic spreading like wildfire. By evening, she was begging, crying, sweating, broken. Mom, please, I'll do anything, please. I poured myself a glass of wine, sat in Harold's chair, took a sip. You should have thought about that before spitting on me, I said softly. She sank to her knees, tears streaming, face red, hands shaking. You win, she whispered. Yes, baby, I said, gentle now, soft, almost motherly. I always win, not because I'm cruel, but because I'm smart. Marcus stormed out. Carolina stayed on her knees, humiliated, broken. I didn't gloat. I simply watched. Because revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, calculated, inevitable.
Later that night, I walked through the house, empty, calm. The papers were all filed, assets reclaimed, my home, my car, my money, everything secure. I picked up Harold's photo, whispered, "We did it, baby. Justice served." And in the quiet, I finally smiled. Carolina learned respect the hard way, Marcus learned fear, and Olivia Walker, she proved once and for all, never underestimate a woman who raised a daughter, ran a household, and survived life's storms for 67 years. We survive, we thrive, and if you cross us, we don't forget. Weeks passed. Carolina never returned to my doorstep, not for apologies, not for negotiation, not even to see if I'd softened. The court cases wrapped up quickly after the filings. Investors were informed. Banks froze the fraudulent accounts. Marcus had to resign from the LLC. Carolina's business empire crumbled under the weight of her mistakes. I didn't celebrate, not with champagne, not with gloating. That wasn't me. I simply lived, quietly, strongly, on my own terms. One afternoon, I sat on the porch, sunlight on my face, sipping tea. My house, my sanctuary, was mine again. Every corner spoke of history, love, and hard work. My fingers traced the smooth wood of the railing, thinking of Harold. He would have smiled. He always did. Daniel called. "Olivia, they're trying to settle quietly. Carolina's asking for mediation." I laughed softly. "Let her. I'm done chasing. She's got the lesson now." "She'll learn it over the next few years," he said. "Exactly," I replied. The hardest part, letting go of anger. I spent years worrying about betrayal, about disrespect, but I realized something. Victory isn't just about winning against someone. It's about reclaiming your peace, your dignity, and your life. And I had done that. Carolina? She sent a text months later, just 3 words. "I'm sorry, Mom." I didn't respond. Silence was the only reply she deserved. Because forgiveness isn't always immediate. Sometimes the lesson needs time to sink in, and sometimes survival is enough. I poured another cup of tea, walked into the kitchen. Dinner smelled just right. Sunday sun through the blinds. Quiet, calm, perfect. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel the weight of betrayal or anger. I only felt freedom. Olivia Walker, 65, widowed, and unapologetically herself, had survived the ultimate test. The lesson? Never let anyone disrespect you. Never let anyone take what's yours. And never underestimate a mother who lived life on her own terms for more than 60 years. Life moves on, but we endure. We rise. We thrive. And sometimes, revenge isn't just sweet, it's necessary.